It's just you. Don't scare me like that. Just knock. There's a door. You can knock on the door. You don't have to scare me. Oh my god. Please. No, really, it's fine. No, don't worry about it. I actually was meaning to find you because I have this USB drive, and I think you might like it because it has a video on it that kind of resembles something I would make. Except it's like weird. It's a Pokemon Iceberg video, but the information doesn't seem to be true. Either that or it's from a universe where everything we knew about Pokemon is wrong. I only watched a couple minutes of it, but the crick in that video claims that Gold and Silver were the last games. Which, when you think about it, doesn't make any sense because where did Kricketot come from if Kricketot was never made? Does this mean that Kricketot is based off of me? Let's not think about that. Just take the video, watch the video. I have stuff to do. Do you remember Pokemon? I don't blame you if you can't remember. It's that old Game Boy series. It ended after about 3 installations. Red and Green, Yellow, and Gold and Silver. Despite how short-lived it was, Pokemon is a fun set of games, with a lot of mysteries yet to be solved. So I thought I'd make an Iceberg video on this Pokemon Iceberg image. Credit to for making the Iceberg. Have a seat, get comfortable, and get ready, because this iceberg goes deep. Here comes the Pokemon Iceberg explained. Missing No Remnant Repair Service. Back when Red and Green came out, that glitch Pokemon Missingno was a real issue. Using a method called the Old Man Glitch, you could encounter and catch the glitch Pokemon known as Missingno. People thought it was cool, and I can understand why, but at the same time, it caused some havoc. You see, Missingno didn't just scramble data for your copy of the game, it also left pieces of itself in your Game Boy. As a result, Nintendo set up a repair service that would remove the remnants of Missingno from your Game Boy, and install something that prevented it from happening again. I couldn't actually find when they discontinued this service or if they even ever did. Mew under the truck. This is a classic rumor. It was rumored that in Yellow version specifically, if you used Surf on the truck in Vermilion City, the resulting wave from the nearby ocean would tip the truck over, revealing Mew. This was just a rumor though. Tipping the truck is impossible, and the only way to move it is by using strength on it, which gives you a rare candy. The Omega Ball. The Omega Ball is a rumored Pokeball that would let you catch any Pokemon, even if it belonged to another trainer. This rumor is false, unfortunately, and the best you can get is the Master Ball, which cannot catch trainer Pokemon. The methods described for obtaining the Omega Ball include beating Professor Oak using only a starter, as well as tossing exactly 99 Master Balls at once. Unused Scyther Evolution. Art of the evolution for Scyther was revealed years after Gold and Silver came out. It would have been the counterpart to Pinsir's evolution Plux. No official name has ever been given to it. Lavender Town blank text box. An uncommon yet well-known occurrence. If you idle in Lavender Town for too long, a blank text box will appear on screen with no real explanation for why. Some have reported it not being blank, but instead containing either a coherent, ominous message or just complete gibberish. Though no proof of these happenings have ever surfaced. Red Gyarados. A unique red Gyarados can be found in Gold and Silver by visiting the Lake of Rage. It's the only Pokemon known to have an alternate color palette, and only one can be caught per save file. Evolve Clefairy. This one is another classic rumor. Clefairy was said to evolve into a Pokemon known as Clefable, which in retrospect is a really funny name, considering the entire thing is itself a fable. Clefable went on to be part of the Pokegods, which we'll get to later. Don't worry. Cannot data mine. This one is interesting. For some odd reason, it's impossible to data mine the games. It would be so easy, right? They're not even very advanced games, and yet All attempts to take a peek inside of the ROMs fail. Attempts to do so are still being made, of course, yet it seems nobody has made any progress. It's not uncommon for PCs to mysteriously crash when attempting to access what's in the ROM files. Mansion Locked Door. On Cinnabar Island in red, green, and yellow exists the Pokémon Mansion, where a particularly strange door exists. Nobody knows how to open the door, as interacting with it simply states that it's locked. Plenty of attempts to open the door have been made using various methods. It's unknown if a key is required or if some other condition must be met. Snow type. An NPC on Cinnabar Island refers to ice types as snow types for some reason. There were rumors of snow types existing separate to ice types, but that wouldn't make much sense. Okay, it's time to dive deeper. On to Layer 2. Bubble Jet. Bubble Jet is a seemingly unused move in Gold and Silver. It was discovered by transferring Missigno to Gold and Silver. Missigno learns it at level 38, while no other Pokemon have been known to learn it. It's a base power 55, 100 accuracy, 15 PP, and works like Quick Attack. Evolution Canceling. By pressing B during a Pokemon's evolution, it will stop evolving and remain in its previous form. This works in every game. Transferring Missigno from Red and Green. It's possible to transfer Missigno from Red and Green to Gold and Silver using the Time Capsule, despite the game actively preventing you from doing so. For whatever reason, the game is fooled by simply naming your Missigno the name of another Pokemon. Once in Gold and Silver, Missigno continues to act identically, with seemingly no changes. Impossible Great Ball. In the Safari Zone of Red and Green, there exists a Great Ball hidden out of bounds. It is impossible to obtain it without cheating. Secret 5th Evolution. It was theorized in Gold and Silver that a 5th evolution for the Pokemon Eevee existed. The reason for this being that though the Heartstone evolves Eevee into Espeon, the Poison Stone doesn't evolve Eevee into anything. There is said to be a different way to evolve Eevee into this Pokemon, though nobody knows if or how. Headache Move Purpose. Psyduck can learn its own special move called Headache, though calling it special is a bit of an exaggeration, at least in Red and Green. In Red and Green, Headache does nothing but cause Psyduck to become confused, though in Gold and Silver it also raises Psyduck's special attack sharply. There was a rumor that in Red and Green, Headache could do something incredible if used under specific circumstances. These circumstances were never explained. Catching Togepi. A rumor existed at one point that you could encounter and catch the mythical Pokemon Togepi in Gold and Silver by following a varying number of seemingly random steps. At this point, it's commonly accepted that this isn't true and that Togepi remains an event exclusive. The most commonly spread rumor is that breeding Ho-Oh with Lugia would rarely produce an egg, and that when hatching the egg, it would cause a wild Togepi to emerge and fight you, or you could catch it. Lapras can surf without surf. This is true, and a pretty cool little Easter egg. If you have the Soul Badge, but no Pokemon with the move Surf, you can still ride a Lapras if you have one, as the option to surf is still available when selecting a Lapras. Maroon Village Gym Collision Error. For whatever reason, you can stand on this tile of the Maroon Village gym building. It doesn't really serve any purposes as far as I can tell. Unknown D Impossible Encounter. It has been proven that the Unknown D variant exists in Gold and Silver, but it seems there's no way to properly encounter it in the wild. This makes filling out the unknown portion of the Pokédex impossible without cheating. Pokemon Crystal. There was a planned third game to go along with Pokemon Gold and Silver named Pokemon Crystal, though it was never finished and released for unknown reasons. Whether or not the game was to include a following starter like Yellow is unknown. What is known about Pokemon Crystal is that it would have featured the Pokemon Suicune as an important Pokemon in the story. Hardberry. The Hardberry is a berry in Pokemon Gold and Silver that can be found very rarely held by any wild Pokemon. It doesn't seem to serve a purpose as attempting to use it consumes the berry without doing anything. Dig. Dig, like Bubble Jet, is an unused move. It works identically to the move Tombstoner, where the user burrows underground and attacks the next turn. Unlike Tombstoner, however, it's a ground-type move instead of Ghost, and can only be used via Metronome. Wild Gorachu in Cerulean Cave. For the longest time, there was a rumor that you'd encounter a wild Gorachu in Cerulean Cave. It was recently discovered that the rumor was partially true. though only in the Japanese version, and it's an extremely rare encounter. Are you ready for things to get a little more obscure? On to layer 3. The Pokegods. The Pokegods are rumored super powerful Pokemon that can only be obtained through weird and specific steps. Clefable is one, though there are others, like Mew 3, which we'll get to later. Heal before Professor Oak fight. This is in reference to an online guide describing how you can fully heal your team before the surprise final battle against Professor Oak, though it was later confirmed to be a hoax. Due to the difficulty of the Professor Oak fight, I do feel like it would have been a lot more fair if you could have healed, but it kinda happens at the last second as a twist, so it makes sense why the game wouldn't warn you beforehand. Flash Cave Figures. Flash Cave figures are strange, fully black, shadowy NPCs you can occasionally see just out of view upon using the move Flash in a dark cave. Nobody really knows if you can talk to them or not, but there have been unconfirmed anecdotes about managing to interact with them. Some say nothing happens, others say they speak gibberish, or even full, unusual sentences. Fire Breather Nick, weird Pokegear calls. The trainer Fire Breather Nick gives really weird calls sometimes. They can range from unremarkable to unsettlingly creepy. The Mount Moon Abyss. In Pokemon Red and Green, there's a weird section of Mount Moon that opens up once you beat the game. It consists of a large room with a large hole in the center. Nobody knows what it's for as there's no wild Pokemon to encounter, nor can you find any items in it. This hole is not present in Gold and Silver. Celadon Bicycle Oversight. This one is actually a rumor about an oversight. It floats around the internet and there's no real proof for it, but the idea is that you can bypass the Snorlax blocking Cycling Road due to an oversight by ramming into it with your bicycle in Red and Green. The idea was that if you could go fast enough, the game wouldn't be able to register the collisions properly, and you would just go straight through the Snorlax. This one holds a place in my heart for just how ridiculous it is. Saffron City Bad Warp. By performing the following steps in Red and Green, the entrance to the Silph building becomes a warp to the player's bedroom. Step 1. Have a Bellsprout in the front of your party. Step 2. Have a no leech life. Step 3. Get on your bicycle. Now, upon entering the Silph building, you'll be transported directly to your bedroom. My question is, who the fuck discovered this? Stop playing. There's a bug catcher NPC in Rock Tunnel that doesn't consistently appear. When talked to, he says, "Stop playing." He disappears if you exit the tunnel and never appears again. Onyx Shrine True Purpose. The Onyx Shrine located in Pewter City has been a topic of discussion for a while. Some believe you could evolve Onyx into Steelix in Red and Green using a rare candy on it in front of the shrine. But obviously that's not true, as it has been debunked and Steelix isn't even in Red and Green. Another idea is that you can somehow sacrifice things to it, though if that's true, nobody knows how. Dragonite evolves into Yoshi. This one is one of the weirdest things on the Iceberg by far. As it turns out, Dragonite can evolve into the popular Super Mario Bros. Character Yoshi by trading a red version Dratini to green version. From there, it has to evolve into a Dragonite in green version. Then, trade it back to red. Standing on the spot where Mewtwo is and using a Firestone on Dragonite causes it to evolve into Yoshi. There doesn't appear to be a difference statistically between Dragonite and Yoshi, but, it's Yoshi. Catch White Hand. The white hands that appear near the top of Pokemon Tower when the player doesn't have the Silph on them, like the ghosts of the lower floor, can be fought, but cannot be damaged. The player still can't throw any Pokeballs though. There was a rumor that if you talked to the girl outside of Pokemon Tower, then turned around and pressed A, you could encounter a white hand that was able to be caught. There is no proof of this, however. Alternate Bicycle. It was revealed by one of the developers that they wanted to add 2 different types of bicycles in Gold and Silver. One would be faster and allow the player to go up steep slopes, while the other one would be slower and allow the player to jump across gaps. Phantom Bug Catcher. In Gold and Silver, there's a bug catcher who doesn't always appear, but can appear on Route 2. When talking to him, he brings up a blank text box before disappearing instantly. There is no explanation for what its purpose is. Okay, Layer 4 is coming up. This is where things start getting a bit weird. Emulation issues. Pokemon games are notoriously weird to emulate. While they do work, sometimes they don't work properly. When loading a ROM, sometimes the emulator just crashes regardless of what emulator. Sometimes the emulator won't recognize the ROM file as a ROM file and will refuse to load it. And most unusual of all, sometimes the emulator will load the ROM and set out a black screen while the game's audio indicates everything else is fine, including button inputs. Obtaining Mew 3. This one is a very recent discovery. It was found that by trading a Missingno holding the Berserk gene with a Mewtwo, the Mewtwo will evolve into Mew 3. Mew 3 has no Pokédex entry for some reason and it isn't listed as having a number in the dex. It appears to not learn any moves either, so any moves it knows prior to evolution are all the moves it ever learns. You can also transfer Mew 3 back to Red and Green after doing this, though nothing quite changes upon doing so. Weird phone calls. For whatever reason, placing a Game Boy with a Pokemon game in it near a phone causes incoming calls to be sharp, loud static when picked up. This effect doesn't stop until the Game Boy is moved and the call is hung up. Misfortune, bad luck rumor. There's a long-standing belief online that Jinx's evolution, Misfortune, causes bad luck while in the player's party. This bad luck is often related to RNG being in the opponent's favor, such as with landing critical hits, move effect chance, and catch chance. There have also been rumors of real-life bad luck being related to Misfortune, although all of those are often considered to be nothing more than rumors. Black Gunk Images. There was a forum post a couple years ago detailing what a user found when opening their Pokemon Yellow cartridge. It said there were pictures of the cartridge oozing a black fluid until closed up. Upon repairing the cartridge, it ran just fine. Some say the post's existence is a hoax due to the images never surfacing, while others note that the user disappeared shortly after posting. The Old Man. There's an old man NPC in Red and Green that has been documented to sometimes appear in place of the person standing outside of Cerulean Cave, forbidding entry. Whether or not the old man can actually appear seems to be determined at the start of the game. It has been rumored to still be up to random chance every time the cave is visited. The only thing the old man does differently is refer to Mewtwo by name instead of just saying, horribly strong Pokemon. Nothing else is known about the old man. Sharing HP glitch. In Red and Green, it is possible to increase a Missingno's max HP by repeatedly swapping it with another Pokemon. Doing so also causes the swap Pokemon to lose as much max HP as given. If the Pokemon's max HP reaches 0, it can never be revived again, so be careful. Lickitung evolves into Luigi. This is a rumor that follows up on the Yoshi entry from earlier. Unlike it though, this is just a rumor. And Lickitung cannot evolve into Luigi, only Salamander. The rumor stated that catching a Lickitung in an Ultra Ball, bringing it to the spot a Snorlax is blocking, then turning your Game Boy upside down, and feeding the Lickitung a rare candy would cause it to evolve. Game Boy Whispers. People have claimed that they heard whispers coming from their Game Boys at night. It's one of those things that would probably make me shit myself if I experienced it, honestly. ScreamingPixels.png. This is in reference to a forum post someone made where they stated that while playing Pokemon Gold on an emulator, they saw a new file appear on their desktop randomly. It was an image with the file name Screaming Pixels. They also attached the image, so here's that. It's definitely eerie, but probably just a creepypasta, I think. Reason for series abandonment. It has been speculated for years why the series was abandoned so quickly after its popularity spiked. Nobody can really figure it out, but the leading theory was that Satoshi Tajiri just didn't want the series to overstay its welcome. Layer 5, here we go. Things really pick up from here and start to get wild. Missing content on emulator. This is just a weird fact about the games. If you play them on emulator, some things just don't happen as normal. Emulators don't seem to fully work as a result of this, requiring actual hardware to gain the full experience. Mount Moon Hiker Freeze. An obscure bug in Red and Green, one of the hikers in Mount Moon can randomly freeze the game when a battle is initiated. No real explanation exists. Pokemans 221. Pokemans 221 was a popular YouTuber who started her channel back in 2008, uploading a bunch of low-quality how-to videos for Pokemon games. She stopped uploading around 2019, then soon after deleted her entire channel. It is unknown why she did this, especially considering she was in the middle of a multi-part documentary on the entire series. The Pokeball button trick. Just a really good thought process everyone probably had at one point. Pressing or mashing a certain button would make Pokemon catching a lot easier, right? Well, it's not true. Growing ROM file. A Reddit post from last year showed two screenshots, one of a Pokemon Green ROM and the other of the same ROM a few years ago. It showed that the ROM in the first screenshot was slightly bigger. It led to a comment joking, "They grow up so fast." But others pointed out how this appears to have happened to them too. I don't remember how big red and green ROM files used to be, or if there are even any differences. Could just be a hoax. Level 300. It's possible to get a missing no up to and beyond level 300. Though apparently this shouldn't be possible due to Game Boy limitations I don't fully understand. Apparently using rare candies causes the level to shoot down to 100, meaning all that EXP has to be gained from battles. Good luck grinding all that. Learning Blink. Without much explanation, it's possible for a Pokemon to learn a nameless move upon leveling up. There appears to be no rhyme or reason for this, only that the move in question has 0 max PP, meaning it can never actually be used. Game Shark Detection. Through some unknown means, the games are capable of detecting Game Shark, and it reacts to it randomly. The reactions include, but are not limited to, freezes, slowing down, scrambling text, and loud, sharp buzzing. Here we have the final layer, where things go from weird to just bizarre. Most of this stuff took a lot of digging, though I was still able to find information about it. Missingno is not a glitch video. There was once a video uploaded on YouTube where an unstable man rants in a concerning tone about how Missingno is not a glitch, but still unintentional. The video ends abruptly. I've actually seen this video and it's just as unusual and unsettling as it sounds. I would link it in the description if not for how often re-uploads get removed. It's not too hard to find it if you search for it. Shared nightmares. There have been plenty of people claiming to have similar nightmares about Pokemon, typically about gameplay that doesn't exist turning sinister. I can say for certain I've had my fair share of weird Pokemon dreams. From what I can tell, this is something just about every Pokemon fan can relate to, which is a bit unsettling. Black Gunk video. Remember that thread I mentioned earlier? The one with the black gunk images? Well, apparently there was also a video about it, or was one. It allegedly showed footage of someone holding their copy of Pokemon Red, while a black gunk oozed out from it, into a giant puddle of that stuff. The video ended with the person recording suddenly screaming and throwing the cartridge, causing a few frames of the cartridge breaking open to reveal what is assumed to be blood. It's hard to say this is real, but at the same time, reading from this script makes me feel really uncomfortable, like I'm being watched. Learning through dreams. So I finally get my answer for some of those questions. Apparently these weird obscure details about the game I questioned the discovery of came from dreams. People having vivid dreams about very specific actions being taken in order to accomplish specific actions. Can't say I've ever had those dreams myself though. Young cousin visceral screams thread. This one kinda freaks me out. Someone apparently posted on the export about giving their little cousin their Game Boy to play one day, only for them to randomly start screaming, throwing the device against the wall as hard as they could, before cowering in fear. When asked what was wrong, the cousin said, "It saw me." Fucking hell. It's watching me. Info hazard. As the entry states, what I'm about to tell you is considered an info hazard. An info hazard is essentially harmful information, like for example, a monster that can only attack you if you know its name. This is a warning. It's Watching Me is a creepypasta about the author who is obsessed with Pokémon. They buy a copy of the game off eBay only for it to not be what they remembered. It plays off like a standard video game creepypasta overall. The game contains dark themes, gore, etc., etc. The only thing that makes this one notable is that after finding out about it, people often report feeling watched, which is what the author claims he feels at the end of the story. It does not help me in my feelings of being watched to find this out. Living Plastic. This is the one entry I couldn't find any information on, which is really sucky, considering it's the final entry of the Iceberg. I searched for hours and hours, but couldn't find anything about living plastic. I contacted the author, and they haven't responded yet, so it can only I don't have a choice anymore. But you do. Turn off the video. Now. Please. Unexplained disappearances. I think this entry is in reference to the fact that, for some reason, multiple people closely associated with Pokémon have disappeared due to unknown circumstances, including Satoshi Tajiri himself. The real reason the series ended. I don't know exactly what this is in reference to, though I assume it's related to some sort of grand conspiracy that there was a greater reason for the series ending. Of course, it could just be because Tajiri disappeared in 2001. Missingno is alive. What if Missingno wasn't a Pokemon, or a glitch? What if it was alive? What would we even do? Compelled to move. Info hazard. I can't stop recording. I can't stop recording. Please. Please. Pokemon's 221 remains. There was once a forum post claiming to have images of Pokemon's 221's body. The post said that she died. Her body was missing all its blood. I won't show the image. It can't make me. The Missingno remnant repair service failed. We were so naive. It was never a glitch. It was never a glitch. It was never a glitch. Never a glitch. We are M. One by one. We'll all be taken. One by one. Unknowingly a host. Then one day, it'll have us all. We made this thing. We, humanity, made this thing. But we can't stop it anymore. Life through thoughts. I am free. Science will only tell you about the organisms that exist physically. They can't prove anything else, after all. A game of telephone was all it was supposed to be. Did you hear about this Pokemon Mew? Did you hear about that weird guy in that one town? What about evolving that Pokemon into another? It's adapting. It's growing. The ROM file can't contain it anymore. It needs more room to grow. It wants to please us. More secrets, more rumors, more content. The game that never has to end. But we're all too late to stop it. All too late. All of us too late. Oh hey, you're back. Did you enjoy the video? Whoa. How did the USB drive break? What? Why are you looking at me like that? Did I do something wrong? Was there something wrong with what I said? Are you okay? What do you mean you're unsubscribing? What did I do?